Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Big Shiny Coin podcast, where every week I ask the internet a gaming-related question and share the best answers right here on the show. The best way to get your answers on the show is to go to somberdonstudios.com and click the Join the Discord button right at the top. Join our Discord channel, hop in the podcast channel. I will tag at here to notify everyone when I ask a new question, and you can answer, and that's where I check most frequently, and that's the channel I prioritize, so that is the best way to get your answer on the podcast. But if you don't do Discord, if you don't like that sort of thing, I also post the question on Twitter at Somber_Don. The name will be Somber Don Chad, and you can find Somber Don Studios on Facebook, and I will post it there. So any of those three ways will catch my attention and get your answer noticed. So the question this week is, what is the longest gaming session you've ever had, and what kept you going? My answer, I remember ridiculously long games of Sins of a Solar Empire. It's a real-time strategy game set in space, and even tiny maps would take like over 8 hours to complete. So I'd get on there with a couple friends, throw in a couple of AI, and we'd have a grand old time for an entire night. It just felt so epic. Past a certain tipping point, the game kind of felt like a little tedious cleanup, but it was still very satisfying to just be facing these opponents for so long and then just dismantle them planet by planet. It was really satisfying. So the best answers, starting out with Discordanian. I always trip that one up. From the Discord, longest session has to be a session of Civilization. It was new, and I recall the just one more turn that ate an entire weekend, starting Friday night and ending midday Sunday. The game was so addictive, you always felt like you were a turn or two away from some big city project somewhere. I think Civilization, excuse me, is probably an answer for a lot of people, because that game is just real damn long, but in a very, very good way. I definitely understand that feeling of always feeling like you're a couple turns away from something awesome, even though sometimes that's not the case. But awesome stuff happens pretty frequently. So you're just like, okay, all I'm going to do is take this thing and then I'll be fine. And then you're like, well, now that I've taken that, let's take this thing. So I understand that one more turn syndrome. I get it pretty hard. Dooney Targaryen of Reddit, 14 hours when Skyrim first came out. By the end, my melee finger was twitching when I saw a spider in real life. I love games that are so immersive and that you just get so into and play for so long that when you stop, it's kind of hard to dive back into reality and realize that you're not fighting giant spiders in real life. So it's definitely a sign of a very engaging game, that's for sure. Human Drawer of Reddit, about 9 hours, wanted to get the platinum trophy in Batman Arkham Knight. I applaud your efforts, because I never went for all of the Riddler trophies in that game. For the unfamiliar, the Riddler trophies are just hundreds of these tiny little puzzles hidden in the world of the Batman Arkham games, and past a certain point, they really stop being fun, in my opinion, and just start being like the worst, most painful chore you can imagine, because there's just so many. Like, I actually don't like that as a game design principle. Like, hats off for doing it. It's like, it's supposed to be very difficult and time consuming to complete, so that is its objective. But man, I think those Riddler trophies go way overboard in being just a really tedious task. OMG, a Turkey Sammy on Reddit. Love these Reddit names. When I first got Breath of the Wild, I played it for like 12 or 13 hours straight. I was having a damn good time. Me too. That is probably the best open world game I've ever played, just because there's a lot of open world games that have a big map, but there's honestly not a lot to find on the map. Like, Breath of the Wild did such a great job of you can just stumble around and find something to do or some collectible to grab. Like, there was always something just beyond this thing or that thing, like, hidden away. It was a very, very dense world of activities, and I think that's what made it one of the greatest open world games I've ever played. So Grand Gorilla of Reddit says probably 14 to 16 hours or so. Was in a LAN party setting, no time for sleep. So my friends and I in high school used to have LAN parties on the regular with Halo 2 and Halo 3. I think those are the primary two games we played. I can't remember getting into too many other ones because we always, it was always Xbox, and that was the thing you did on Xbox back in the day is you played Halo. So that was so memorable to us that after college, after I went to college, my friend from back home got married and I was his best man. And for his bachelor party, I threw him an old school, high school Halo LAN party, and it was a blast. So I understand that those long gaming sessions with LAN parties, those are super fun. Floyd of Reddit says 3 whole days. Just hit Masters on Overwatch and didn't want to stop because I went through a bad fight and shit hit the roof. Disconnects and Wi-Fi disconnects just made me angry and more focused on winning the game, and I was just bent on winning. Now that I look back on it, I find it really stupid. Hey man, like, you fight or something, and you want to escape in a video game, and sometimes you get just real dedicated to that escape. As long as you eventually work through your other stuff, it's fine to have that distraction for a second. Don't feel stupid about it. It's fine. Ben Burns on Twitter. I remember playing all of Guacamelee in one sitting. Took pretty much all day. It's a fun game. I felt like some of the fights were difficult. I remember getting pretty frustrated near the end of the game, but that was also probably because I was very tired. I'm actually playing Guacamelee in the opposite manner, very little chunks at a time, spread out, very spread out. But yeah, I can see how you could just sit down and really want to tackle that game in a day. I think it's small enough scope to where you could, feasibly accomplish that. But I'm definitely spreading it out. Sir Slyer the Sixth of Reddit, 9 hours of StarCraft 2 when it came out. Also, when my friends and me started playing WoW, we grinded to max level for 2 days, only taking a few hours off to rest our eyes or sleep. We were so excited we couldn't stop playing. World of Warcraft is another one of those games that I feel like is the real answer for a lot of people. World of Warcraft and Civ are the two that, when I was collecting answers, I was like, yeah, maybe that might actually be my longest gaming session too. Yeah, you can. I don't think I have to explain to many people that you can get completely lost in a World of Warcraft session. Drink the Windex on Reddit. I would not like to drink the Windex. Thank you. Once played 26 straight hours during a summer holiday. Was playing Ark and wanted to finish one more thing before realizing there was one more thing I could finish after that. It was fun. I had a good sleep that night. I would imagine so. And again, it's that one more thing. Well, okay, now that this thing is done, I'm already halfway done with this other thing, so I might as well finish that. And then, this other thing won't take long, and then gets out of hand real quick. That keeps you hooked. Sulfurman of Reddit, like 20 hours of good old Minecraft back in the days. There's a reason that I never played Minecraft, and it's not because I don't want to or because I think it would probably be a bad game or that I wouldn't enjoy it. It's because I would lose my life. Like, you guys would get 0 YouTube content. You'd get no podcast. I would just be playing Minecraft all day, every day. I wouldn't make games. Like, it'd be bad. There's a reason I haven't touched Minecraft. It's willful, very willful. Machete Don't of Reddit. In terms of hours, somewhere between 12 and 14 hours when I got a pirated copy of GTA San Andreas from someone in the family one Christmas holiday, installed it and played the crap out of it for the next following months. But the first day was the most intense. I enjoyed the game a lot, so I kind of feel bad that I never paid for it. Well, at least you're acknowledging that, and, Rock, as much as I do not advocate for piracy, Rockstar is not exactly starving for money, so, same person also said, in terms of playing a single game for months without switching to any other games in between, probably Fallout 4 just short of a year. In the end, I was basically just pimping my settlements with details / mods and whatnot until it became slow. It basically crashed whenever I entered the settlement. Yeah, I can understand that. Like, I've played games over such long periods of time that, you run out of stuff to do, so you, make more for yourself to do because you still like the game, but you don't have too much more to actually accomplish in it. I get that. Metagloria of Reddit. Final Fantasy 13? Is that 3 there? It's kind of hard to read. Yes, Final Fantasy 13, a game that's not even one of my favorite Final Fantasies. It just happened to be the one that came out in a time in my life when I was single and had nothing going on outside of work, so I came home Friday, turned it on at 4:30 p.m., and played until midnight the next day, 31 and a half hours straight. Around 7 a.m., I was getting worn out, but I finally got my first, I don't know how to pronounce that, drop from I don't know how to pronounce that either, and it perked me back up. Apparently, Final Fantasy 13 has really complex names. I'm not even going to try. That is an admirable gaming session. It's funny how a game at the right time, even though it's not, you can admit it's not your favorite game, it'll come along at just the right time to where you're like, screw it, I'm just going to demolish this real quick, Coin Stamp 180 of Discord. The two longest natural ones were Stardew Valley session or World of Warcraft session that terminated into a 4-hour raid. Both ended up being around 10 hours. In the case of Stardew Valley, it's easy to get stuck into a set of resource management skill tasks, especially if they all require some tedium. In the case of the long MMO session, I happened to be grinding for a particularly long period of time, and by the time I was finished getting materials, well, it was time to raid. I understand that feeling. For Stardew Valley, it was just a matter of being utterly relaxed and at home with myself. For the MMO session, the other people depended on me being prepared. Those other people also kept me energized during the 4-hour period of actual raiding. Oh yeah, I can definitely, the longest gaming sessions I've ever had have definitely been social ones, except for Civ, I guess. But I've only played single-player Civ. But Sins of Solar Empire, World of Warcraft, that's what kept me going through those long gaming sessions, was the social aspect of being energized by other people for it. And for Stardew Valley, yeah, I've not played it yet, but I hear it's just like so relaxing and you can get lost, and it's almost like a day of work when you have, continuous tasks to do. You're into it, and then, oh my god, it's how long has it been? You don't look up from your monitor for a while. Nexloa of Reddit. About 18 hours. My brother let me play Dragon Age on his Xbox while he was at a friend's house, and I remember that night my dad opened the door to say goodnight, and then what seemed like just an hour later, he opened the door to say good morning before he went to work. It was my first time playing any game with any sort of story, my first experience with RPGs, and I just got sucked right in. I have definitely had the experience of playing a game all night and being like, it's only like, 1 a.m.? It's not that bad. And then I start seeing the light outside, and I'm like, ooh, it is not 1 a.m. It is like 6 a.m. Oh my god, I gotta go to bed. Stewie of Reddit. Not really proud of this one, but launch day of WoW Cataclysm. Played for 30 hours straight, only stopping when I hit the new max level, 85 I think. The game was a hot mess by the end, with the intended questline having broken and me getting the last bits of experience from killing monsters and harvesting minerals and herbs. Oh yeah, that's I remember that's how I got to the original level cap of World of Warcraft 60 was like I was like 59 and a half, and I'm like, I don't want to do these quests. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to kill this one mob for like a million years, and then I'm going to be 60. And I did it. So, and the final answer, the the Ren Arena. I think that's it. The Ren Arena of Reddit. When Halo 2 first came out, I spent 10 hours with my brother to beat the campaign, and then an additional 4 hours playing online co-op. We finally stopped when we fell asleep in the middle of a match. I've definitely fallen asleep in the middle of a game or been like very tired. Actually, Sins of a Solar Empire, I'm pretty sure I've been like, oh god, okay, I'm awake, guys. I think I fell asleep one time during a WoW dungeon, and like somehow I fell asleep aligned in the perfect way in the dungeon to where I ran like really far and pulled a bunch of mobs and just killed everyone. Luckily it was a very low level dungeon. It wasn't like a full raid where I just killed everyone, but yeah, I've definitely done that. And Halo 2, yeah, Halo 2 and 3 I remember getting, and just immediately we sat down and just co-op. Let's play until we beat this game. I think Halo 3 we actually started on Legendary the night of launch, and that was an interesting time. We beat it. We got that there was like a secret a secret scene that you only got for beating Legendary or something like that. We saw it. We saw it. So that's it for this episode of the Big Shiny Coin Podcast. Once again, my name is Chad Spangler, and if you would like to propose a question for the Big Shiny Coin Podcast, hop on that Discord by going to somberdawnstudios.com, clicking join the Discord at the top. It's a big old button. It's hard to miss. And, you know, let me know your thoughts. Answer the questions in that Discord podcast channel, and maybe you'll get yours on the show. So until next time, peace.